Ever since she was a little girl, Amy had always had a thing for her next-door neighbor, Justin. At 6, she tried to teach him how to flirt. At 8, she was giving him the birds and the bees talk. But one day when they were 18, Justin casually said good morning to another girl, and Amy, without hesitation, beat the crap out of him right in front of the whole class. Justin ended up with a concussion and a 3-month stay in the hospital. The second he got out, he bolted. Justin disappeared for 3 years that Amy spent searching for him. Finally, she tracked down his parents and wheedled his location out of him. Just then, Justin's phone rang. He glanced at the caller ID. It was his dad, who hadn't been in the picture for close to 20 years. Picking up cautiously, Justin was immediately floored by the first thing his dad said: "Son, your mother and I found you a beautiful wife. Tonight, you don't have to hang out with your right hand anymore." Justin almost choked. "Dad. What kind of talk is that? Left hand, right hand, they're both good friends." Then he protested, "Dad, I'm not even 18 yet. I can't get married." His dad chuckled. "Says who? We didn't get around to tying the knot legally till I was about 40 years old, so get over it already." Justin grimaced. "Is that something you're proud of? You want me to carry on that fine tradition?" "No way. I'm comfortable being single." "Too bad. Your bride's probably on her way there now. You don't get a choice." "Wait, what? Where's she going?" At that moment, Justin's dad continued, "Oh, yeah, your mom and I are going on our honeymoon to Hawaii. We might not be able to get in touch. Don't miss us too much, buddy. Have fun with your wife." Then the line went dead. Justin felt like he'd been hit by a truck. Almost 30 years together and now they go on a honeymoon? Wait, Hawaii? Did you win the lottery or something? Why aren't you bringing me? His dad laughed. "You want to go on a trip? Just ask your wife. She's got plenty of money. Spoil her with fancy cars and mansions. Go wild, son." "I gotta go, the plane's boarding." Justin didn't even get a chance to ask the woman's name, age, or what she looked like before his dad hung up. Calling back, he got a message that the number was out of service. Justin realized he'd just been blocked by his own father. "That stinker," he muttered. "He's really cutthroat when he wants to be." Thinking about his often absent, flawed but lovable parents, Justin shook his head and started getting ready for bed. Just then, there was a knock at the door. He opened it, and a woman was standing there, wearing a mask that concealed everything but her sharp, distinctive eyes. She had a perfect hourglass figure and was pulling a suitcase with a combination lock. Even with the mask, Justin knew who it was: Amy Davis, his famous next-door neighbor and childhood tormentor. His heart leaped into his throat. Memories of the old days flooded back. Back in elementary school, Justin had been a great student, so Amy would dump all her homework on him. If he didn't do it, he'd get beat. In high school, Amy had hordes of boys trying to win her over, and she'd use Justin as a human shield. If he tried to leave, she'd ambush him. And in their junior year, Amy entered the school's singing competition but needed a song. She knew that Justin was great at writing music and lyrics, so she forced him to write one for her. If he refused, the ass-whooping would begin. Thanks to his song, Amy won first place and got signed to a contract with a major record label. She still continued to bully and exploit Justin. So he fled 3,000 miles to go to college far away in a different state. He ended up getting accepted to Arizona State and then working as a tutor and pizza delivery guy to pay his way through school. Now, that girl was here. Despite the turmoil raging inside him, Justin forced a welcoming smile. He figured it was best not to fight back. "Amy. Long time no see. I've missed you so much." "Missed you, my ass," Amy thought. 3 years of hiding. "If I hadn't run into your parents and gotten them to give me your address, I'd still be looking." But she simply smiled sweetly. "Hey, Justin, can you help me get my bag inside? I'm gonna be staying here for a while." She then took off her mask, walked right in, threw off her jacket, sprawled on the sofa, and turned on the TV. Amy was wearing just a white tank top and black shorts, showing off her endless legs. Justin couldn't help but swallow hard. She was gorgeous. The years had been very good to her. As she stretched, he got a glimpse of the goods. "What you staring at? Put my suitcase away and come give me a massage." 2 hours of filming, then a 2.5-hour flight. "I'm exhausted." Justin wasn't about to refuse. He never knew how those things would turn out. After getting rid of the suitcase, Justin approached her from behind. He gasped at the canyon that appeared over the top of Amy's tank top. Justin had always been devoted to his hand and no woman, but that was about to change. All it took was a quick flash of beauty from a beautiful girl. His heart hammered in his chest. "Hey, what are you doing? Just standing there?" Amy asked when she felt Justin's hands hovering over her shoulders. He'd been trained since childhood to be the best masseuse in the game. Amy, could you maybe put on a shirt or something?" Amy turned her head, confused. She glanced down at herself. Sure enough, her tank top was struggling to contain her ample chest. Amy gave a giggle. Is little Justin all grown up and getting shy now? She remembered when she once had Justin give her a massage in middle school. He didn't know that she was awake and grabbed her boob. He cried as she wailed on him. "So, Justin, do you think I look good?" Amy teased. He stammered. Finally, he got out the words, "You look very nice, Amy." "Why the hell did you shake your head, then?" Justin stuttered, I thought you'd hit me." Amy burst out laughing. Standing up, she asked teasingly, "So, tell me, what are you thinking right now? Are you wishing you could grab me like you did when you were little?" No. "No, I'm not." Justin protested, sweating bullets. He'd paid the price for that transgression with a long and painful convalescence. "Why not? Am I not attractive enough for you anymore?" Amy said, pouting a little. Men were supposed to be interested in her looks. Amy licked her lips provocatively. Justin nearly fainted. The hell was up with her? He quickly turned away. Amy grinned. So, she still had it, eh? She sat back down and stretched. "Anyway, my neck's killing me." Justin carefully moved over and put his hands on her shoulders. He could see everything. He tried to look away but quickly realized that he wasn't going to succeed. He started massaging her shoulders, doing his best to not make things too weird. 15 minutes later, Amy had fallen asleep. Her chest rising and falling rhythmically. Justin was conflicted. Here was the most attractive woman he'd ever seen, right in front of him, but he couldn't do anything. "Amy?" he asked softly. "Are you feeling better?" No response. She was out cold. Is she faking so she can kick my ass if I make a move? Justin wondered. Just then, he was about to touch her lower back when he was struck with an image of pain and hurt from the past. He quickly moved his hands away. He called her name again a few times. When she didn't answer, he stopped the massage, went into the bedroom, and got a blanket. He gently covered her up. Yeah, she was violent, but they were also friends. Justin couldn't just let her get sick. Amy hadn't really been asleep. She'd been testing Justin. She had been a little disappointed. She wanted him to make a move so that they could grow close. Justin had no idea that she'd been faking the whole time. She just wanted him to have an opportunity, even though she didn't necessarily expect him to do anything. Wrapping the blanket tighter around her, Justin went back to the couch and fell asleep. He was asleep before he knew it and snoring. Amy smiled as she looked at Justin's attractive face. In that moment, Amy realized that she was still deeply in love with him. He just needed to be encouraged. She knew that Justin had always been scared of her, so the only way to get him to like her was through her father. That way, she could marry him right away. Before she could do that, he would inevitably get snatched by a beautiful girl. Amy learned that Justin was attending Arizona State and immediately made a call to his parents. She was told that Justin would be graduating soon, and the next day would be registration day for new freshmen. With so many beautiful women to choose from, she had to take Justin under her wing and become his wife before something went wrong. So, she schemed with his parents, asking them to force him to agree to this arrangement. They would let her live with him so they could begin a budding romance. Amy and Justin were both tired after what had been a long day. Amy took the time to look at Justin one more time before she leaned her head on his lap and passed out. Some amount of time passed before Justin woke up with a numb leg. Amy's head was on his lap. As a wave of disbelief rolled over his face, he thought to himself, what in the world is happening? Justin rubbed his eyes as a flood of tears came over him. How are those things supposed to work? All because I've been avoiding her for 3 years. Now I'm going to have a foot amputated. As if on cue, Amy suddenly mumbled something. Justin's eyes widened. What is she saying? Is she really going to say that the wife your parents found is her? Amy suddenly jumped up and yelled, "It's me." Justin's eyes flashed with panic. Stop playing around. This prank isn't funny. Justin was scared of Amy, and he could never forget the dark days he had spent with her. If he had to continue that for the rest of his life, he might as well just call it quits. Dumbass, Amy said. I'm not joking. Amy was trying to be friendly, but her eyes were full of love for Justin. But, there's no way. Justin was shaking his head as if he'd never met her before. He knew for a fact that she would always beat him up in front of their parents as children. Even if they didn't pay any attention to them, there was no way that they would let their son die on a hill like this. Amy was furious that Justin wouldn't let her be his wife, even when she was the most beautiful star in the country, earning millions of dollars a year. Am I going to have to use my trump card after all? She wondered. Before getting there, Amy knew that she would have to beat Justin because she was often rude to him. Since she couldn't possibly propose now, she thought she would just talk to his parents and have them write a letter for her to take to Justin. That letter was now her trump card. Amy knew she had to strike at the right moment, and so this is the letter they told me to give you. Amy said softly. Justin glanced at the letter and cautiously took it into his hands. Dear Justin, the scrawling letters on the front of the envelope looked like it had been written by his parents. That Martian definitely used his handwriting. Justin unfolded the letter, and his eyes widened as he scanned the contents. The dowry, is she marrying me, or am I marrying her? Could you be less trustworthy, Dad? He muttered to himself, continuing to read. By the time he finished, Justin was completely defeated. He'd been sold by his own father, sold for $100 million to Amy to be her husband. The letter was filled with overbearing demands that Justin had to stay with Amy because their parents had already cemented the alliance with a traditional wedding ritual. At that moment, Justin realized that the only reason they wanted him to go travel and celebrate was because they just sold him as their son for a great price of $100 million. So, you believe me now, silly boy? Amy's gentle voice drew near, as warm and caring as an elder sister. Don't come any closer, Justin stammered, frightened. Amy saw that, although he was still resisting, his opposition wasn't as fierce as before. She was secretly pleased. Looks like Dad is really great. He really has taught Justin to be obedient. This time, this kid will definitely be mine. Amy came closer and spoke softly. Silly boy, the ink on the paper is as clear as day. Now I'm your wife. If you want to call off the engagement, I could agree, but I'm not sure my dad and your uncle will agree, eh? Justin felt a chill run down his spine at those words. Amy wasn't the scary one, it was her dad. He was tall and burly, and one slap would be enough to send Justin to the afterlife. As for his dad, he was probably running for the hills with the money from selling his son. Therefore, if he called off the engagement, Justin would definitely be beaten senseless. Considering the horrible consequences, Justin didn't dare oppose Amy anymore. He tried to calm down and said, Amy, give me some time to think. At that moment, Amy became incredibly gentle. She sat down on the sofa, crossed her legs, and patiently waited for Justin's decision. Justin stood there, dumbfounded, feeling that everything was so unbelievable. Who was Amy? She was a famous celebrity, surrounded by countless admirers. Why would she choose him? He really couldn't understand. He could only say weakly, "Amy, you're outstanding. I feel like I'm not good enough for you." Why wouldn't you be good enough? You're tall, handsome, and talented. Do you know that the songs you wrote for me are famous overseas? As she mentioned the songs Justin had written, Amy's eyes lit up. Those songs were truly amazing, every lyric made her feel infatuated. Thinking about the amazing lyrics and melodies that Justin had composed, and then thinking about the 3 years he'd disappeared, Amy's expression darkened. Silly boy, you're so talented. Ever since you left, the songs the company chose for me haven't even earned a fraction of the money your songs did. Hearing Amy say that, Justin replied modestly, that was just luck. It had nothing to do with the songs. Luck? It's obviously because those musicians can't compare to you. As she said this, Amy seemed to have thought of something. Her eyes lit up again, and she reached out to take Justin's hand, saying shyly, "Silly boy, why don't you write a few more songs for me?" Justin froze. Write songs? His face fell. Amy, I can't write anymore. Seeing Justin's expression, Amy frowned. She remembered that Justin had also said he couldn't write anymore before, but after a session with her, a few days later, he wrote 6 songs for her. After some time, Justin said he was out of ideas again, and she took action again. Then, he diligently continued to write, and every song was a hit. Thanks to those songs, Amy was able to become a top singer and then caught the eye of film companies, becoming the youngest movie queen. Now, looking at Justin, she felt very familiar. He was definitely faking it again. It seemed she had to use her secret weapon again. Amy thought to herself as she looked at Justin, licked her lips, and held his arm, shaking it playfully. My darling, try a little harder. I'm sure you can think of something. Just think of it as working overtime for your wife. Do your best. At this moment, Justin was touched by Amy's chest, and he felt a bit hot. Although he liked it, Justin knew that this was just a trap. This was just an illusion. He couldn't fall for it. Justin pulled his hand away and said painfully, Amy, if you want me to write songs for you, I'll write them. Just don't call me darling or act cute like that. It scares me. As soon as he finished speaking, Amy's face darkened. From a young age, she'd always been careful, never calling any man darling, and she rarely even spoke to men other than Justin. Now, she was calling Justin darling because she thought they were already married, calling him that to be more affectionate. But Justin thought she was a flirtatious woman. Amy couldn't restrain herself anymore. She raised her hand and twisted Justin's ear, scolding, What are you thinking in that head of yours? How dare you think of me as that kind of person? Ow, ow, ow. Justin's expression changed. This woman was truly ruthless. 1 second, she was acting cute and calling him darling, the next, she was hitting him. It hurt so much that he was about to cry. He quickly begged, Amy, I was wrong. Let go. Amy didn't let go, saying coldly, How could you think so badly of me? I've always cared for you, treating you like a brother. How dare you think of me as that kind of person? I was wrong, Justin said, tears welling up in his eyes. I won't do it again. You still dare to do it again? Amy said angrily. Justin was truly wronged. He thought, clearly, you were acting all cute and calling me darling just now, and then you turned on me so quickly. Although he thought that, Justin could only admit his mistake at the moment. Amy saw that it was enough and let go. Seeing that Justin's ear was red, she felt a bit sorry. She'd been thinking that now that she was Justin's wife, she had to be gentle and virtuous, not using violence on him. She had to restrain her nature, but she just couldn't help it. This idiot always made her angry. Amy looked at Justin with a gentle gaze, took his hand, and said softly, Darling, don't make me angry in the future, okay? you know my temper. Once I get angry, it's not easy to stop. This time, I was being gentle. If I accidentally break an arm or a leg next time, it'll be terrible. Good heavens. Justin was terrified. This was clearly a blatant threat. He quickly stood up and said obediently, Amy, I know now. I'll go write songs right now. Seeing Justin being so obedient again, Amy felt a bit embarrassed. Darling, there's no rush for my songs, Amy said, her voice as sweet as honey. Justin froze. This woman was truly unpredictable. Justin didn't dare believe Amy's words. No rush? My butt. Justin quickly said, Amy, I suddenly have inspiration. If I don't write it down right away, I'm afraid I'll forget. Amy tilted her head and looked at Justin with a suspicious expression. Really? Really? Wait for me. After saying that, Justin ran straight into the bedroom, sat at the desk, and began to excavate his memories. During the 3 years he'd been away from Amy, Justin had occasionally written a few songs. Justin had intended to perform these songs at the university. Who knew, he might catch the eye of some beautiful girls. He'd heard his classmates say that college girls were all very gentle and adorable, perfect for being girlfriends. But now, Amy had appeared. If he didn't hand over the songs, whether he'd even be able to attend school was a problem. Swish, swish, swish. Justin began to wield his pen and write as fast as the wind. Having been forced to learn all sorts of things from a young age, or else he'd be beaten, Justin was now an all-around talented person. In just 2.5 hours, 3 songs were born. The first song was Incomplete Love, and it suited Amy very well because the songs she'd performed before were all in the melancholic style of unrequited love. That's right, unrequited love. Justin used to think that Amy was crazy. She had so many suitors that they could line up around the earth 2.5 times, but she still insisted on being in love with someone else. What a joke. The second song was Always Best Friends. These 2 songs were almost tailor-made for Amy. As for the third song, Kiddo, Justin wrote it based on the beautiful memories he had of his childhood with Amy, so he decided to give it to Amy as well. After finishing writing, Justin checked over everything one last time to make sure there were no mistakes before opening the door and walking out. Suddenly, he saw Amy standing in front of the door, having changed into a long white slip dress. At this moment, Amy was like a fairy, her every gesture exuded a refined and otherworldly beauty. That beauty left Justin stunned and dumbfounded on the spot. Was the beautiful woman in front of him really the fierce bully he knew? Justin stared blankly. Amy suddenly blushed, shy as a peach blossom in March, beautiful and delicate. Justin, do you think I'm pretty? Amy's voice rang out, pulling Justin back to reality. No matter how beautiful she was, this woman was still the fierce bully who chased him around all day. She only had a pretty face, but her soul didn't have even a trace of femininity. Thinking that, Justin nodded perfunctorily and said, Amy, you're getting more and more beautiful. Amy was overjoyed. She'd heard many compliments about her looks, but she didn't care much because she knew her beauty was obvious to everyone. However, Justin's compliment made her incredibly happy, as sweet as drinking honey. Are you happy to have such a beautiful wife? Justin flinched. Absolutely not. This woman was too dangerous to be a wife. He quickly handed the sheet music to Amy. Amy, here are the songs I just wrote. Take a look. Amy was successfully diverted by Justin. She took the 3 sheets of paper and began to read them carefully. As soon as she finished reading the first song, her eyes lit up as if she'd just found gold, and a smile appeared on her face. The lyrics were truly amazing, accurately portraying the feelings of someone who secretly admired another person. These were exactly the words she wanted to say to Justin. Amy continued to read the second song, then the third. Each song filled her with emotion, as if she were the main character in the story. These 3 songs struck a chord even more in her heart. Amy, what do you think? Justin asked hesitantly, seeing Amy standing there silently. Amy's eyes were filled with joy as she looked around and asked, Where's your guitar? In the bedroom. Amy immediately walked into the bedroom, took the guitar hanging on the wall, and came out. While humming the songs Justin had written, she strummed the strings. It had to be said that Amy had a knack for musical instruments. When they were young, Justin didn't know anything about music theory, but under Amy's careful guidance, in just half a year, he was able to skillfully play the piano, guitar, violin, and even the Chinese trumpet, flute, erhu, all these traditional musical instruments she had taught him. Looking at Amy, immersed in music, Justin felt that she was truly talented at this moment. He was sure that if these 3 songs were released, they would definitely cause a sensation. As soon as the music stopped, Amy jumped up and hugged Justin tightly. "You're amazing." Being held tightly in Amy's arms, Justin froze. He knew she was happy, but doing this was a bit much. "Darling, why don't we just get married now? That way, I can give you a bunch of cute kids," Amy said excitedly. Justin was sweating bullets. In his heart, he was screaming, "Have kids? Who wants to have kids with you? Darling, how about the end of this month?" What? Justin was terrified, his soul had flown away. What was this woman thinking? "Darling, how old was my mom when I was born?" Amy asked curiously. Justin felt a chill run down his spine and quickly pushed Amy away. What do you want to do?" Amy licked her red lips seductively, looking at Justin with a meaningful gaze that made him sweat. He involuntarily took a step back. "Amy, I'm still young." Amy looked Justin up and down for a moment before seemingly understanding something. "You're not young anymore. Besides, we haven't gotten a marriage certificate yet. My parents said that piece of paper doesn't mean anything anyway. They've been together for so long and never got married." Justin wanted to cry but had no tears. Why had this fierce bully turned into a lecherous woman? "Please. I don't want to be tortured." "Silly darling, I've already given the betrothal gifts, and our parents have already agreed. How about we?" Justin immediately objected, but seeing Amy's face darken, he quickly said, "Amy, I'm hungry. How about we go get some food first? Today's the last day for new students to register for school, isn't it?" As soon as he said that, Amy's stomach rumbled. Actually, she was also very hungry. That was why she had changed her clothes and was waiting for Justin to go eat. Now that they could go together, it was the best-case scenario. The matter of having children could be discussed slowly later. She had to replenish her energy first. After all, as people often said, only when you're full can you do anything. Justin quickly went to the bathroom to wash up and change into a new set of clothes before leaving the house with Amy. Amy linked arms with Justin, wearing a mask to conceal her face, and walked down the small street in the neighborhood. When they encountered a few girls who were Justin's students, they all greeted him enthusiastically. "Teacher Justin, is this your girlfriend?" Hearing everyone calling her his girlfriend, Amy wasn't too happy. She took off her mask and said with a smile, "I'm not his girlfriend, I'm his wife." Amy's sweet voice stunned a few of the girls. At first, seeing Amy's perfect figure and wearing a mask, they thought she must be ugly. Who knew she was such a great beauty? They were so jealous. After greeting them, Amy put her mask back on. She didn't mind making her relationship public, nor was she afraid of being recognized. She was only afraid of being surrounded by people. After leaving the neighborhood, Justin looked at Amy with a complex expression. Why did she tell outsiders that she was his wife? A famous. Aren't celebrities all about protecting their image? They're afraid of being exposed and having tabloids write slanderous articles, Justin thought. He was dead wrong. Amy never relied on her looks to make a living, it was all about her acting skills and singing voice. If someone were to write a slanderous article about her now and Justin confirmed that he was her husband, she might even write a thank you note to the paparazzi. The two of them took a taxi to an upscale restaurant. Amy noticed Justin ordering food with such natural, professional movements and furrowed her brow. Justin used to be extremely averse to Western food because he didn't know how to eat it. After she became a star, she dragged Justin to these things, but he always refused. She had to threaten him before he'd go. Yet now, Justin was so proficient, holding a knife and fork like a pro. Amy suddenly had a bad feeling. Could it be that, over the past 3 years, Justin had been frequenting these fancy places, eating and drinking with other girls? Thinking of this made her extremely uncomfortable. "Justin, you're acting really strange today," Amy said, her tone cold as she used Justin's given name for the first time. Justin was startled and quickly sat up straight. "Amy, what's wrong? You used to hate Western food and said you didn't know how to eat it. How come you're so good at it now?" Justin narrowly avoided a disaster. He quickly leaned in to explain, "Amy, we've eaten together nearly 100 times, right?" Amy froze. She'd forgotten that she'd dragged Justin to eat Western food many times. At that moment, she felt she was being too sensitive. She shouldn't be like this. After they finished eating, the two of them left the restaurant. "Amy, I need to go register for school now. I need to figure out my dorm room tonight, so I won't be coming back. Here's the key, and there's half a month's rent left. You can stay here for now, but I won't be back," Justin said. Amy furrowed her brow. "The apartment I'm renting is a bit far from school, so I won't be coming back," Justin said nonchalantly. In reality, he wanted to get away from Amy. He hadn't wanted to live in the dorm initially, but now that Amy had arrived, he had to move in. It would prevent this dangerous woman from creating problems. Amy narrowed her eyes at Justin. Seeing him avoid her gaze, she immediately guessed what was going on. This kid was definitely trying to avoid her. At that moment, she wanted to slap Justin, damn him. She didn't even care about giving up her career, and traveled all the way here to find him. Yet he dared to avoid her, even making up such a ridiculous excuse to deceive her. Being stared at by Amy made Justin feel uneasy. This excuse was very reasonable, how could she see through it? As he was about to come up with a few more lies, Amy's cold voice rang out. "How about I come with you to register? Later, I'll rent a villa near the school for you to live in. That way, it'll be more convenient for you to go to class." "What?" Justin was stunned. What did this woman want to do? How could he live with her? Although he thought that, Justin didn't dare say it out loud, planning to refuse later. Seeing Justin's crestfallen expression, Amy secretly smiled smugly. "Want to escape from me? Not so easy. I'm right next to the school, and I'm going with you to register. I want to see which girl dares to approach Justin." At that moment, Justin was like a chicken caught in a trap, walking forward or backward was not an option. He really had brought this upon himself. But now, he couldn't say anything. The two of them took a taxi to Arizona State University. Just as they arrived at the school gate, he saw many upperclassmen setting up stalls to welcome the new students. Some of the upperclassmen were very enthusiastic in guiding the new students through the registration process. Justin also noticed that the upperclassmen were very interested in the new female students, while the upperclasswomen were very enthusiastic about the new male students, especially the handsome ones. They wanted to recruit the new students to join their clubs. Justin was already handsome, and although Amy was wearing a mask, her figure made it obvious that she was a great beauty. Thus, the two of them immediately became the focus of everyone's attention. "Little brother, what major are you in? Let me take you there," 3 beautiful girls approached, introducing themselves enthusiastically. Amy scowled. She was about to grab Justin's hand when she heard a male voice ring out. "Hey, freshman! Welcome to ASU." The guy, having just introduced himself, flashed a confident smile that he thought was very charming. Amy looked at the guy with an unfriendly gaze, but still said politely, "Sorry, I'm not a student at ASU. I'm here to bring my husband to register." After saying that, she tightly grasped Justin's hand, their fingers intertwined. Hearing Amy's words, the female students surrounding Justin and the male students wanting to strike up a conversation with Amy were all stunned. Bringing her husband to register? Everyone looked at each other, their eyes filled with disbelief. Justin was also frozen. He was still nurturing his dream of finding a gentle, soft, and adorable girl at the university, but Amy had ruined everything. How could he flirt with girls now? Seeing everyone staring at him with wide eyes, Justin quickly pulled Amy to a corner and asked softly, "Amy, what do you want?" "I'm telling the truth," Amy said innocently. "I'm your wife, and it's been officially recognized by both our parents." Justin was speechless. This woman was doing this on purpose. Looking at the bustling crowd and thinking about Amy's personality, Justin knew that if he continued to argue, things would only get more complicated. He was about to pull her away to do the registration when he suddenly heard a clear voice ring out. "Justin. What a coincidence. I didn't expect you to get into ASU too." Justin turned around and saw a tall, beautiful, and pure girl approaching. Seeing Justin looking at her in surprise, the girl blushed slightly but couldn't hide the joy in her eyes at seeing him again. "Olivia? You also got into ASU?" Recognizing his high school classmate, Justin smiled and asked. Olivia nodded and said with a smile, "What major are you in, Justin? Have you registered yet?" "I'm in the computer science department." "Have you registered yet?" "What a coincidence, I'm also in the computer science department." "I haven't registered yet." "Great, I'll take you there." "I registered yesterday," Olivia said, her face blushing again as she saw Justin staring at her. In reality, she had followed Justin here. With a score of 700 on the college entrance exam, Olivia had many choices. However, after learning that Justin wanted to apply to the computer science department at ASU, she decided to follow him, even though ASU was less famous than other schools. The reason was simple: she liked Justin and wanted to be with him. Standing beside them, Amy sensed a rival. This petite and pure girl around Justin's age made her feel immense pressure. The reason was simple: Olivia had an innocent face but wasn't just there to look around or be a friend. She was there to become more than just a friend, fast. Amy tried her best to suppress the unease in her heart. She smiled and stepped forward, hooking her arm through Justin's. "Darling, who is this girl?" Justin was sweating buckets. What did this woman want now? Olivia looked at Justin curiously. It had only been 2 months since they last met. Was he already married? But she felt that something was off, so she quickly guessed that this wasn't his real wife, but a pursuer. Justin, standing in the middle, sensed the killing intent in Amy's eyes and quickly said, "Olivia, let's meet up some other time, okay? I need to register now." "I'll take you there. The registration point for the computer science department is a bit hard to find. I searched for a long time yesterday." After saying that, Olivia went ahead to lead the way, chatting with Justin along the way about what had happened in the 2.5 months since Justin had left. At the computer science department's registration point, after Justin paid the tuition, the teacher began to assign dorm rooms. Amy wanted Justin to live outside, but the teacher said that freshmen had evening classes in the dorm for convenience. Amy started panicking. Justin didn't see her as his wife yet, and if he stayed in the dorm, things would be dangerous. Not to mention that ASU was filled with pretty girls. Olivia alone was so dangerous that it was enough to make her anxious. Just thinking about the vixen surrounding Justin made Amy's hair stand on end. She had to act first to secure her victory. After thinking for a while, she took off her mask, revealing her identity. She would see if any other girl dared to flirt with Justin. At that moment, Amy truly admired her own intelligence. The students registering saw Amy's face and cried out in shock. "It's Amy Davis. The big star Amy Davis. My goddess. Wait, who is that man with her? Why are they holding hands so intimately?" Amy was pleased to see that she had been recognized. The trending topic tomorrow would definitely be about her. Olivia stood beside her, stunned. The teachers were equally surprised. A famous star bringing her husband to register for school, this kind of rare event was something they were witnessing for the first time. Seeing the crowd flocking to Amy, the teacher gave Justin his room card. Thus, Justin and the two beauties walked out of the registration point, chatting and laughing with each other as they were surrounded by people. Amy also felt very satisfied. This proved her appeal was still very high. But some people said that Justin was climbing too high and didn't deserve her. Hearing this made Amy furious. Why would they dare to look down on Justin? From a young age, Justin had been intelligent and outstanding. In first grade, he could do the homework for fourth graders, and in sixth grade, he could do the homework for ninth graders. In ninth grade, he could do the homework for 12th graders. He also knew how to write songs, and every one of them was a hit. Who could do what he did? What do you guys know? Do you think it's all about matching pairs and being equal in status? How ridiculous! Amy said with a frown. The crowd was stunned. The goddess actually dared to scold her fans? Justin, standing next to Amy, felt a sense of elation for some reason upon hearing her words. In this day and age, many stars treated their fans like ancestors, catering to them. Yet Amy was standing up for him, reminding him of what had happened when he was in elementary school. Some older kids were bullying him, and this fierce lady had taken action, beating them up badly. Thinking of that scene, Justin couldn't help but laugh. This lady hadn't changed, she was still protecting him. Although she was also very fierce when she beat him, those were two completely different matters. Seeing everyone dumbfounded, Amy didn't care. She took Justin's hand and walked toward the dormitories. Although Arizona State wasn't as good as other big schools, the facilities were still very good. The dorm rooms were 4 people per room with a private bathroom, air conditioning, desks, and strong Wi-Fi. The female goddess Amy Davis had come to visit the male dormitories, causing chaos throughout the entire area. Everyone saw Amy hooking arms with Justin, and their hearts shattered. Has our goddess already found a boyfriend? After taking a look at the dorm room and greeting his roommates, Justin and Amy left the dormitories. After all, it wasn't time for class yet, and it really wasn't convenient to linger with such a big star accompanying him. Down below in the dormitory area, there were many people coming and going, and the road was completely blocked. It was truly packed like sardines. Goddess, is this guy really your boyfriend? A tall, thin guy wearing glasses asked with a painful expression. No, Amy said with a smile. The guy breathed a sigh of relief. I knew it. How could my goddess be in love with a freshman? But just as he finished speaking, Amy's sweet voice rang out again. He's my husband. The entire area suddenly became silent, so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. Amy smiled at everyone and then walked away. Everyone automatically made way for her as they watched Amy hook arms with Justin and leave, their hands clutching their chests, their expressions pained. They didn't just feel heartbreak, but also liver pain and kidney pain. A perfect woman like Amy, who was both beautiful and rich, actually chose an ordinary man like Justin and even made it public in front of everyone. They were not reconciled. Justin squeezed out of the crowd under everyone's scrutinizing gaze and left the school. At this moment, Olivia was no longer following. She probably felt that it wasn't appropriate. She was Justin's high school classmate, but she didn't know Amy. Moreover, she could sense that Amy was hostile toward her. In the car, Justin looked at Amy and said emotionally, Amy, thank you for helping me out. Amy glanced at him sideways. Is that all? Justin froze. After thinking for a moment, he said, how about I treat you to a big feast tonight? You can eat as much as you want. Amy, though still contemptuous, was secretly ecstatic. This idiot was finally learning. Justin was troubled. He really didn't have experience dealing with women. After racking his brains for a while, he told the driver, take us to Thai. Hearing shopping, Amy's eyes lit up. She was usually so busy that she didn't have time to go shopping. This was the perfect opportunity to relieve stress. The car arrived at the Thai Commercial Center. Justin said with a smile, Amy, just pick whatever you like. I'll swipe my card later, as long as it's within my means. Having worked as a tutor in Phoenix for more than 2 months, combined with the money he'd earned before, Justin had more than $10,000. Buying a few sets of clothes and a handbag should still be enough. Amy thought this idiot was really cute. She hooked her arm through Justin's and happily walked into the commercial center. NiceGamLii was the most upscale commercial center in the city, selling all kinds of fancy goods from around the world. Prices ranged from $1,000 to $1 million, worthy of being called a shopping paradise for the wealthy. Since she was strolling around, and she had just made a scene at ASU, Amy decided not to wear a mask. The two of them walked into a world-renowned handbag store. Seeing the price tags, Justin was stunned. A small handbag the size of his hand cost $8,000. A small crossbody bag was $10,000. Amy seemed to be used to these prices. She picked a delicately designed handbag that looked very luxurious. Justin checked the price, $19,000. Good heavens! Justin's eyes widened. Was this bag inlaid with diamonds or gold? Amy held the bag and looked at Justin with a hopeful gaze. Honey, what do you think of this bag? Justin felt he was about to go bankrupt, but he had to admit that this bag really suited Amy. He smiled and said, "It's very beautiful." Really? Amy asked happily. At this moment, a salesperson came forward. You have great taste. This bag is a limited edition that has just been released. Limited edition? Amy asked curiously. There are only 10 in the United States, the salesperson replied. Hearing that there were only 10 limited editions nationwide, Amy was slightly disappointed. As a top star, she only bought exclusive items or mass-produced items. This kind of in-between item was really difficult to accept. Thus, Amy put the bag down and continued to look at other designs. Justin saw those. Looking at the handbags priced at $30,000, $40,000, and $50,000, Justin felt like he couldn't breathe anymore. Then he saw Amy holding a bag priced at $59,900. His head swam. Even with his credit card, he didn't have enough money to buy it. Selling a kidney wouldn't be enough either. Ma'am, this bag is a limited edition worldwide, with only 10 in the country, and only one in this particular color, the salesperson's voice rang out. Amy scrutinized the design, also very pleased with it. Honey, what do you think? She asked Justin with a hopeful look. Justin froze. $60,000 was enough to buy a house back home. The problem was that he was broke. Seeing Justin in a daze, Amy asked, Honey, what are you thinking? Justin looked at the bag in Amy's hand and said awkwardly, Amy, this bag is too expensive. I don't have enough money. Amy was initially stunned, then her eyes turned red with heartache for Justin. She had always thought that Justin, who composed so many songs, must have earned a lot of money. When she tried to give him his share, his father had stopped her, saying she shouldn't because he was worried Justin would become spoiled if he had too much money at such a young age. Therefore, Justin's father had told her that she could either keep Justin's money herself or help him keep it until he graduated from college, then give it to him. Over the past 5 years, she had kept more than $30 million for him. Dad, what are you thinking? Look at what you've forced my husband into. Amy secretly complained about Justin's father in her heart, but she had promised him that she wouldn't give Justin the money, and now she couldn't go back on her word. She stepped forward, took Justin's hand, and said gently, Silly honey, what are you thinking? I'm happy enough that you're willing to go shopping with me. Why would I let you spend your money? After saying that, Amy took out a card and handed it to the salesperson. The salesperson was stunned. She had thought Amy was a gold digger and Justin was the sugar daddy. Who knew that Amy was the sugar mama and Justin was just eye candy? Justin, standing beside her, watched Amy flash her money around and thought, thank goodness she's not my wife. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to afford her, even if I sold myself. Leaving the luxury store, Amy dragged Justin to other stores to shop. Justin now became the pack mule, carrying all sorts of bags in his hands and arms. Just as they stepped out of one store, Amy was recognized by a few girls. Is that guy her boyfriend? He's so handsome. The girls, seeing Justin's radiant good looks, exclaimed enviously, their eyes lighting up. Their voices attracted the attention of other shoppers. When they saw that it was indeed the big star, everyone swarmed over like a hive of bees, filling the passageway in the mall. Some boldly stepped forward to take pictures and ask for autographs. Some brave girls asked, "Ma'am, is that guy your boyfriend? He's so handsome. How did you two meet?" Seeing the young and energetic girls, Amy vigilantly clutched Justin's arm as if to declare ownership, smiling and saying, "We're childhood sweethearts. We grew up together." After saying that, she felt that the answer wasn't perfect, so she smiled and corrected herself. "Let me rephrase that, he's not my boyfriend, he's my husband. We're already engaged." The crowd buzzed with excitement. Engaged? Amy is at the peak of her career. Why is she engaged so early? It must be true love then. Justin, standing beside her, was stunned. When did he say he wanted to marry her? Why was she being so domineering? He wasn't even of legal age yet and still wanted to find a girlfriend in college. Justin wanted to protest, but seeing Amy looking at him with sweet eyes, he immediately hesitated. He could sense the danger, and Amy's words flashed through his mind, "Behave yourself and listen to me, don't make me angry, or I'll break your arms and legs." Thinking of that horrifying scene, Justin felt a chill run down his spine and quickly reached out to hug Amy's waist as a sign of obedience. Just as he hugged Amy's waist, Justin's heart suddenly began to thump. Oh my God, so soft. Her waist is so small. Justin had never paid attention to these things before. Now, accidentally touching her opened up a new world to him. Seeing Amy leaning close to him, Justin suddenly had strange feelings. His mind began to wander. If only this lady wasn't so fierce, that'd be great. That's right, Justin had begun to develop a crush on Amy. Amy could feel Justin's heart beating faster and saw his hand sneaking around her waist. Her face suddenly flushed red. This idiot, he said he didn't want to, but his body was so honest. He dared to grope her in public. He really lived up to the man she had chosen. Amy not only didn't get angry, but she also felt very happy. This was a good start. As long as she could get Justin to obsess over her, she wasn't afraid that he wouldn't fall for her. After dealing with the crowd, Justin reluctantly took his hand off Amy's waist, still feeling a bit regretful. After all, he had never hugged any girl's waist before, especially one that was so slender and soft. "Honey, how did it feel just now?" Amy asked, her face flushed red. Justin panicked. Had he gone too far? Was this woman planning to settle accounts? Seeing Justin stammering and unable to speak, Amy leaned close to his ear and whispered, "Honey, don't mess around in public like that in the future. If you like, when we get home, you can do whatever you want. I'll indulge you." Hearing those provocative words, Justin's face turned red, and his body felt hot all over. What did this fierce lady want? Thinking of that scene, Justin began to dreamily imagine. This lady has such a smoking hot body. If I could taste. Justin licked his lips and continued to imagine, but suddenly an image of Amy holding a whip flashed through his mind. He immediately woke up. No, I can't be seduced by her. If I mess around, I'll definitely get beaten to death. Justin tried his best to restrain the desire in his heart. Seeing Justin's face turn red, Amy smiled slyly. "Let's see how long you can hold out." Amy was very confident in her looks and figure, so she knew that sooner or later Justin would fall for her. Amy hooked her arm through Justin's, planning to go to a few more stores, but her phone suddenly rang. Seeing that it was her manager's number, Amy hesitated for a moment before answering the phone. "What's the matter, sis?" "Amy, why did you go public with your relationship without telling me? Now the internet is in an uproar." "I can't put out the fire." "Why put out the fire? Just let it be natural. It's a souvenir of love between me and my husband." Amy hung up the phone and smiled gleefully, saying to Justin, "Honey, you're famous now. The internet is full of news about us." Justin's face turned pale. He hadn't expected to be put on the internet and that he had been secretly groping Amy's waist. Now it was a big problem. If this matter were to be reported in the news, everyone would know it, confirming the relationship between him and Amy. He wouldn't be able to flirt in college anymore, and his path to finding a girlfriend seemed very long indeed. Seeing Justin's pained expression, Amy knew what he was thinking. At this moment, she knew she had done the right thing. From now on, no girl would dare to approach Justin. She took Justin's hand and said coquettishly, "Honey, you behaved very well today. I'm so happy. Let's go home and do that. I'll indulge you in whatever you want." Seeing Justin still unmoved, Amy shook his hand again, acting cute, her big eyes blinking at him, looking very adorable. Okay, Justin finally said. He had been about to say that he couldn't stand it, but he really couldn't resist Amy's expressive eyes. Moreover, he also felt that she was right. If someone used this matter to attack Amy, it wouldn't be good. After all, they were childhood sweethearts. How could he let outsiders bully her? Thinking that, Justin forced himself to smile, but it still looked very strained. Seeing Justin's awkward smile, Amy was both annoyed and amused. "Honey, your smile is too ugly. You have to be natural, like this." Justin turned to look at Amy. Amy smiled radiantly, looking very happy. Justin sighed. As expected of an actress, she could smile whenever she wanted and still look so natural. He couldn't possibly learn that. Even so, Justin still tried to cooperate with Amy. Seeing that he had tried, Amy took his hand and placed it on her waist, saying, "Honey, do this to make it more intimate." Just as he touched Amy's waist, Justin immediately came to his senses. Hugging a beautiful woman's waist, the feeling was really great. The two of them continued to stroll around the mall, but because people knew they were here, too many people swarmed in, and the two of them had to retreat early. In the taxi, Justin sensed that Amy was occasionally looking at him secretly. When she was caught, she shyly turned her face away. Seeing Amy's suspicious actions, Justin was worried. Could it be that she not only wants my songs but also wants me? Thinking that, Justin felt a chill run down his spine and trembled, asking, "Amy, do you really like me?" "Yes, I like you," Amy replied. Justin suppressed the complicated emotions in his heart and asked curiously, "What exactly do you like about me?" "I don't know either. I just like you," Amy replied. Justin felt a bit disappointed. Why was she being so perfunctory? Was this really all there was to it? Justin knew better than to ask any more. Suddenly, Justin's phone pinged, indicating a new notification. Justin followed a few accounts that specialized in slandering Amy on social media. Whenever there was news about her, he would receive a notification immediately. He opened the app and saw a video recording the scene of Amy actively linking arms with him and answering the girl's questions. This guy looks so reluctant. He's definitely being forced. This old hag is already old, and she's still eating young grass. She even found a kid in his early 20s. How disgusting. She's already 21. Why is she still shamelessly seducing young men? Reading those comments left Justin speechless. Sure enough, his expression had been seen through. It seemed that there was a lot of controversy surrounding celebrities. However, to prevent Amy from being swayed by the haters, Justin reluctantly commented, "Nonsense. Look at how brightly this guy is smiling. He's so happy. That's right. A talented man and a beautiful woman, they're a match made in heaven. So jealous. I want some sugar." Just as Justin finished commenting and was about to turn off his phone, he suddenly saw Amy turning to look at him in surprise. Justin panicked and stammered, Amy, did you see anything?" "Hee," Amy said with a sly smile, "Honey, so you also think we're a match made in heaven?" Justin's face turned red, and he scratched his head shyly, saying, "Amy, they're slandering you. I was just protecting your reputation." "Really?" Amy was deeply touched in her heart. This silly boy, though he's aloof with me on the outside, he's secretly concerned about me. I really didn't raise this kid in vain. "Silly honey, thank you," she said to him. Seeing Amy so moved, Justin didn't know what to say. Although he often said that Amy was fierce, he had always stood up for her online. That was the truth. Amy stopped looking, and Justin secretly took out his phone to look. He saw that he was being mercilessly trolled. Leeching dog. Beyond saving. It's so obvious, and you're still being a bootlicker. Do you think if you flatter her, she'll notice you? Wake up. No matter how much you try to clear her name, she'll never look at you. Seeing these comments, Justin was puzzled. Amy hadn't done anything to them. Why did they hate her so much? Even passers-by were throwing stones. It was terrifying. Everyone, stop scolding. I've already used technical measures to ban all accounts related to him on social media for the next 250 million years. In the future, you won't see him anymore. Just as Justin finished reading this comment and was about to reply, the system displayed a notification: your account has been banned by the administrator for 250 million years. Please come back after 250 million years. Thank you for your support. What? Justin's eyes widened. What kind of magical operation is this? A ban of 250 million years? Is this an operation by a social media employee or a hacker's intrusion to ban me? Justin read carefully. This person claimed to be a computer master, saying that as long as he could find the IP address, he could ban all related accounts. Thinking that, Justin decided to change to a different account to comment and see. As soon as he sent it, the system displayed the notification again: your account has been banned by the administrator for 250 million years. Please come back after 250 million years. What the heck is this? Justin frowned. Is this person really that powerful? Justin didn't believe it. He logged out and logged in with a new account. The result was still the same: banned for 250 million years. It should be known that this account had been registered for more than 2 years, but he had never used it. Yet, it was still banned. Justin was worried. This person could find even related accounts. His skills were not ordinary. If Amy had such a hater, it would be a disaster. It seemed that he had to find a way to delete this account. Justin secretly resolved. Although he had been beaten by Amy and wanted to avoid her, she was his older sister. If she was in danger, he would definitely be the first to rush up and protect her. Now, this computer master was a hidden threat. If left unchecked, he could cause Amy to flounder. The car sped along, and soon arrived at Justin's apartment. Amy immediately ran into the bedroom to change into a sexy dress, then leaned against the door, winking at Justin, and asking in a sweet voice, "Do you think I look good in this?" Seeing Amy so seductive in front of him, Justin couldn't help but swallow hard. Amy already had a hot body. Now, wearing this dress made her even more irresistibly charming. But what was up with this woman? Why was she suddenly wearing such revealing clothes? Seeing Justin frozen, staring at her, Amy happily approached, took his hand, shook it, and said coquettishly, "Honey, say something. Do I look good in this?" Justin was sweating buckets as he looked Amy up and down. The dress hugged her body, highlighting her perfect, unblemished curves. It was truly a masterpiece. If a perfect woman like her wasn't beautiful, then who was? But if she wore such beautiful clothes outside, wasn't she just asking for people to gawk at her? Thinking that, Justin said, "Amy, you look very sexy in this, but it's best not to wear it outside. Be careful of being sued for stealing people's attention without permission." Amy was stunned for a moment, then suddenly burst out laughing. Her clear laughter rang throughout the apartment. "Honey, do you really think this outfit is beautiful? So beautiful that it's mesmerizing?" Amy asked eagerly. Being stared at by such a stunning woman, Justin really couldn't stand it. He turned away, using the excuse that you're a public figure, so you need to pay attention to your image. Don't dress so skimpily. Such a boring guy. Amy thought, a bit annoyed. She was a great beauty, possessing looks that could topple cities and states, yet she was being criticized by her husband as being a cheap girl. Justin was also turned on by Amy's dress. He ran into the bedroom, took out a new set of underwear from the closet, and went to take a shower to cool down. Living with such a stunning woman was really torture. While Justin went to shower, Amy boredly took out her phone to chat with her best friend. BFF, your silly hubby is living in such a small apartment? Buy a bigger house for your husband. My hubby's house, though small, has all the important stuff, especially only one bed, if you know what I mean. He. OMG. You can't seriously do you really want to eat him? He's still so young. How can you be so heartless? Don't you know how popular he is? Amy said earnestly. If I don't act fast, he'll fly away. Her friend suddenly froze, nodding in agreement. You're right. I have a distant younger cousin who's in the same class as him. I asked around and found out that your silly hubby is quite the ladies' man. There are all sorts of hotties at school trying to woo him. Oh, right. The girl who went with you two to register today, Olivia, is a die-hard fan of your hubby. She's also a bookworm, scoring 700 points on the college entrance exam. She got headhunted by tons of universities, including 3 prestigious universities overseas that offered her full scholarships. But she didn't go, and instead followed your hubby to ASU. It seems like it was love at first sight. You need to be careful. Amy panicked. She really had recognized that Olivia wasn't ordinary, but she hadn't expected this girl to be so formidable. A full scholarship from 3 prestigious universities overseas wasn't something just anyone could get. Yet this girl easily got it and even turned it down to chase after Justin to ASU. This vixen, it seemed that she was determined to win Justin over. No way. I have to take action. If Justin doesn't comply, I'll force him. Amy thought secretly. At that moment, she felt that she had to supervise Justin more closely and couldn't let him fly away. After talking to her best friend for a while, seeing Justin come out of the shower, Amy immediately hung up the phone and lovingly took a hairdryer. Honey, let me dry your hair for you. No need. My hair is short. It'll dry in a bit, Justin said. Come here. Amy enthusiastically plugged in the hairdryer and had Justin sit down. Then, she stood in front of him, drying his hair. Looking at Amy's slender, white legs, Justin really wanted to touch them. They were so seductive. In modern language, those were legs that a million people would be obsessed with, and wouldn't get tired of playing with after an entire year. Justin daydreamed for a long time, but he quickly came to his senses. Touching this fierce lady's legs? His bones wouldn't be able to withstand it. It was best to find a way to escape from Amy and go to college to find a girlfriend. Find a long-legged girl who was both beautiful and safe. Seeing that Justin had been obsessed with her legs just now but was now losing interest, Amy's heart skipped a beat. Did this idiot have something more important to look at than her legs? Such blessings were right in front of him, but he wasn't enjoying them. He was worse than an animal. Honey, you have to go for military training tomorrow, right? Amy asked. Justin, who was lost in thought, heard Amy's question and replied absent-mindedly, maybe. I'm not sure. Military training is very tiring. Let me nourish you. Amy said. Nourish? Justin was stunned. Nourish how? Hee, Amy said, licking her lips seductively, asking, how do you want me to nourish you? Seeing Amy's suggestive action and thinking of her words when she was chatting with her best friend in the bathroom, Justin felt a chill run down his spine. Was this fierce lady really planning to take action? If she forced him, how could he resist? No way. I can't let my life be ruined like that. Thinking that, Justin quickly stood up. Suddenly, his hand was grabbed by Amy. She looked at him with loving eyes, saying, Honey, do you think this method of nourishing is okay? Before Justin could understand what kind of nourishing that was, Amy had quickly pressed her soft lips to his. Justin could feel the warmth from her lips, hear her rapid breathing, and smell her unique seductive fragrance. He was stunned. This fierce lady was acting too fast. Amy, I'm still young. You can't do this. Justin struggled, but Amy had no intention of letting him go. Justin's resistance gradually weakened, and he suddenly realized that Amy's lips were so soft, so sweet. A faint fragrance seeped into his nose, leaving him infatuated. Damn it! Why aren't my hands listening to me? Why are they hugging her waist? I should be struggling to run out of the room. Why am I so attached to her scent, to those soft lips, to that slender waist? Why are my hands moving again? And even groping around? Hurry, pull them back. Seeing Justin's hands groping around, Amy secretly smiled smugly. This idiot, he said he didn't want to, but his body was so honest. Amy didn't resist. Instead, she gently pushed Justin down onto the sofa. Justin suddenly collapsed, his mind in a daze. This fierce lady's figure was really too beautiful. The scent on her body was also so seductive, and those lips. Why did they make him so infatuated? He really wanted to taste what it felt like. Damn it! Why am I thinking about that? No way, absolutely no way. This lady is very fierce, I'll get beaten to death by her. Justin tried to resist in his heart, but this feeling was really too amazing. He couldn't bear to stop. In Amy's mind, the final scene vaguely appeared. Her face flushed red. This day had finally come. She was so nervous. She was about to become Justin's real wife. Amy didn't resist. Her childhood dream was to marry Justin, give him a bunch of kids, knit sweaters for them, and take them to school. Therefore, she had always looked forward to this day coming. She had even researched and learned a lot about how to make Justin love her more. Justin's breathing became more and more rapid. Amy gently closed her eyes, but just then, the phone suddenly rang, destroying the atmosphere. Amy was extremely annoyed. It was almost at the final step, but this phone was really annoying. Justin was also pulled back to reality by the piercing ringtone. Seeing Amy on top of him, her clothes disheveled, the collar of her dress pulled down a lot, Justin panicked. What had he just done? Could it be that he had eaten leopard guts and bear hearts and dared to mess with her? Justin was scared to the point of sweating. He was really too reckless to dare touch this fierce lady. Was he tired of living? Amy picked up the phone irritably and answered it unhappily. Her manager's panicked voice rang out. Amy, rumors are spreading online that you've been bullying your boyfriend since you were young. That's why he ran away from the south to the north to study in high school, is that right? Hearing people say she was bullying Justin, Amy was extremely angry. That's not bullying, it's loving, okay? If it weren't love, why would I bother bullying him? Don't believe those ridiculous rumors, Amy said. My hubby and I are childhood sweethearts and have a very good relationship. How could I bully him? Did you beat him? Is it because he was afraid of being beaten by you that he ran away from the south to the north to study in high school? We'll talk about that later, Amy said, feeling a bit embarrassed. That was the truth, but she didn't care about that now. She only wanted to continue with Justin, so she asked, what else is there, sis? Amy, haven't you realized the severity of the problem? Someone said that you've had a tendency towards violence since you were young. The manager's voice was full of worry. This is very serious. Your image in the public has always been gentle, adorable, and kind. This will cause your image to collapse. Who said that characters in movies have to be the same as they are in real life? Amy retorted. Is it also called violence when I play around with my childhood sweetheart? Justin, standing beside Amy, heard Amy say that and had a look of disbelief on his face. So, in her eyes, the fact that she had been beating him from a young age wasn't violence, but love? Good heavens! Thinking of this, Justin remembered the sweet memories of every time he was beaten by Amy. She would enthusiastically let him play with the most beautiful toys and eat the most delicious food. She would never hold a grudge overnight. Those memories were so beautiful. Thinking of this and then remembering the time he had spent close to Amy, Justin fell silent. He remembered the saying habit becomes nature. When something was repeated many times, it would become second nature. When they were young, Amy had low awareness, plus Justin disobeyed and didn't listen to her, so she angrily used her fists to teach him. Every time he was beaten, Justin would become obedient, which made Amy realize that using her fists was the most effective. Therefore, she always used her fists to talk to him. If that was really the case, Justin suddenly thought of a terrifying truth. It was precisely because he spoiled Amy that she became a hot-tempered girl who liked to use her fists to talk. At that moment, Justin felt guilty and looked at Amy. Amy hung up the phone, seeing that Justin's gaze towards her had changed. Amy said, feeling wronged, "Honey, we were just playing around when we were young. Why do people call me a violent person?" Justin suddenly didn't know how to reply. Suddenly, he heard Amy's voice trembling. "Although I was a bit heavy-handed, we're siblings. I hit you because you didn't listen to me. If you had been obedient, I wouldn't have hit you. Think about it, every time you went to school, I bought you gifts. Every time you got an award, I'd reward you with a lot of presents, not to mention birthday gifts. Every year on your birthday, my room was filled with all kinds of baby dolls." Although she said that, Amy was very worried in her heart. After Justin left, she also realized that she had been a bit too heavy-handed when they were young. That was why he had run away. Over the years, she had felt very remorseful. It was all because she was young and ignorant. If she had known right from wrong and restrained herself more back then, things wouldn't have been like this. But now it was still time to correct her mistakes. Now Justin was grown up, and she had come to his side. In the future, she wouldn't beat him anymore. She would try to be a good wife and a good mother. Hearing Amy's words, Justin smiled. It seemed that this fierce lady had also realized her mistakes. He said with a smile, "Amy, you didn't beat me. We were just playing around." Justin's words made Amy feel extremely moved. This silly hubby had finally grown up. She took Justin's hand and said gently, "Honey, I won't beat you anymore in the future. I'll love you more and make up for the mistakes I made when you were young." Justin suddenly had a bad feeling. He trembled and asked, "What kind of making up do you want to do? How about I give birth to a bunch of kids for you?" Amy asked eagerly. Giving birth to a bunch of kids was a really special way to make up for it. Justin was scared out of his wits and quickly waved his hands, saying, "Amy, you're too kind. There's no need for this. There's really no need. How can you refuse me?" Amy frowned. This silly hubby, it seems like he won't drink a toast unless forced. I must make it up to him. Amy's voice became cold, the gentle expression from before disappearing without a trace. She really was the Amy of old, gentle for less than 2 seconds before showing her true colors. Seeing Justin frightened, Amy immediately changed her expression back to a gentle one, taking Justin's hand and saying shyly, "Honey, your parents have accepted me, and they're eager to have grandchildren. Just now, we were only one step away from success. Let's try harder. In 10 months, we'll have a cute baby." Thinking of the little angel about to be born, Amy smiled happily. "I imagine the baby will have chubby cheeks, chubby hands, and bright eyes. Wouldn't they be adorable?" That transformation was so fast. Where did she learn that magic? Seeing Justin scared, Amy pouted, hugged his arm, and shook it, saying, "Honey, I really want to have a baby. How about we try a little bit? I've already turned off my phone, so no one will disturb us." In Justin's mind, an image of his neighbor's baby suddenly appeared. That baby had chubby cheeks and was so adorable. Those bright eyes, seeing him, would reach out to be held. It was so heart-melting. If he and Amy really had a child, with the excellent genes of the two of them, the baby would definitely be even more adorable. Wait a minute. Why was he having such crazy thoughts? Have a child with this fierce lady? Justin was sweating buckets. He raised his head and saw Amy staring at him intently, her eyes full of anticipation. He quickly turned his face away. This woman was poisonous. Looking at her too much would make him lose his mind. Today, he had been careless and almost lost control. Thinking of this, Justin quickly changed the subject. "Amy, it's getting late. How about we go get some food? Hearing that, Amy was slightly disappointed. Could it be that I'm not good enough? I liked to beat you when you were young, which caused you to be traumatized. Amy's words made Justin feel very guilty. It was all because he spoiled her too much, causing this kind girl to become so violent and so erratic. Honey, let's go get some food. After we eat, I'll leave immediately. I'll come find you again when I've changed for the better, Amy said, her face full of frustration and self-reproach. Justin knew that Amy was acting, but for some reason, his nose was tingling. Amy, what do you want to eat? Justin's voice was gentler. It was all his fault, and he had to take responsibility. Honey, I miss Mom so much. I want to eat something Mom cooks. Amy said, her eyes turning red. She was really very disappointed. Having traveled from her hometown to Phoenix to find him, she had imagined the scene where the two of them would be together like when they were young, doing all sorts of things together. Who knew that their relationship would become more and more distant? She wanted to find someone to confide in and wanted to find a shoulder to lean on, but there was no one in this unfamiliar city. Seeing Amy sad and heartbroken, Justin couldn't help but hug her. He felt too guilty. Amy had traveled so far to find him, yet he hated her. Amy, how about I go to the supermarket to buy some things and cook for you? Amy looked at Justin with a moved expression. Really, honey? Is that okay? Of course it's okay. What dishes do I know how to cook? I know how to cook all of them. Justin asked gently. What do you want to eat? I want to eat French fries, spicy stir-fried mapo tofu, spicy stir-fried chicken, mao shui wang hot pot, and also braised fish head with chili peppers. Amy said, licking her lips as she spoke, her eyes full of anticipation. Those were all the homestyle dishes of her hometown and also her mother's specialties. Yesterday, after returning home and learning that Justin was in Phoenix, she had rushed to fly over here without having time to eat with her mother or even hug her to sleep. Now, she really missed her mom. Justin didn't refuse. From a young age, he had often gone to Amy's house to freeload and had been forced by her to learn how to cook, so he had been taught the secrets by Amy's mother. Now, he was an excellent chef and could even open a restaurant. Honey, how about I go to the supermarket with you? Amy hooked her arm through Justin's, looking up at him and saying in a sweet voice. The supermarket is right in front of the apartment complex. You're a celebrity, it's best not to go out, Justin said. Honey, it's true that I'm a star, but I'm also your wife. It's normal for a wife to go grocery shopping with her husband, right? Her reasoning was perfect, leaving Justin speechless. After a moment of silence, Justin agreed. Amy had traveled from so far away to find him, only wanting to be close to him. How could she have any bad intentions? Thinking that, Justin let Amy hook her arm through his as they walked out of the apartment and into the elevator. Seeing Amy silent and gentle, her face radiant with a happy smile, Justin secretly thought, this lady is also very gentle when she's not crazy. If she could always be like this with me, not hitting or scolding, or even getting married, I'd be willing to shorten my lifespan by 10 years. Amy was a star, and today she had gotten involved in a shocking scandal, so some people had found Justin's home address. The two of them stepped out of the elevator and walked in the apartment complex. Many people stopped to watch, and some boldly stepped forward to ask for Amy's autograph. Amy was very friendly and didn't refuse anyone. Leaving the apartment complex, the two of them walked straight to the supermarket. Justin had been here for more than 2 months, so he was very familiar with this supermarket. Honey, this supermarket is really grand. It's much bigger than the supermarket in my hometown. There are also lobsters and king crabs. Amy walked into the supermarket, her eyes wide, like she was visiting the city for the first time. In fact, she couldn't be blamed. As a big star, how could she have time to go to the supermarket? Daily necessities were all taken care of by her manager and assistant. Moreover, in other places, her manager and assistant were afraid that she would encounter accidents, so they never let her go to the supermarket, especially the vegetable and meat sections. Seeing Amy like a child who had just arrived in the city, Justin couldn't help but smile. That radiant smile had not appeared for a long time. Now he realized that radiant smile was brought about by Amy, the woman he couldn't love or hate. Amy, just choose whatever you like. I'll go to that area to buy chicken and peppers to make spicy chicken for you, Justin said. I don't want to go anywhere. I only want to be by your side. At a sweet moment like this, how could Amy let it slip away? This was a golden opportunity to cultivate their relationship. The two of them pushed a shopping cart, strolling around the supermarket. Justin picked up some vegetables here and some meat there. Before long, the cart was full. After paying, Amy took a box of fresh milk and took a deep breath, saying with a look of regret, "Honey, the supermarket is so fun. Let's come here to shop again in the future. I'll buy you whatever you want." In Amy's heart, it was sweet. She clearly sensed that Justin's attitude toward her had changed. He no longer refused to let her call him honey. This was a good start. The two of them carried the heavy bags of groceries into the apartment. Suddenly, Amy stopped, as if she had thought of something. Her face showed a look of panic and unease. Seeing that, Justin asked, "Amy, what's wrong? Are you feeling uncomfortable anywhere?" Amy shook her head, but her eyes still revealed a look of worry. It's nothing. It's just that I suddenly remembered that it seems like I forgot to bring what?" Justin asked curiously. Amy bit her lip and said hesitantly, I forgot to bring sanitary pads." Justin froze for a few seconds, then his face turned red, and he stammered, What? What did you say?" Seeing Justin's reaction, Amy became even more embarrassed. She lowered her head and whispered, It's that time of the month." Justin now wanted to dig a hole and bury himself. How could she dare to say such a private thing so openly? Justin was at a loss for what to do. "What should we do now? Can you run out and buy some for me?" Amy asked shyly. It's not convenient for me to go." Justin was speechless. He was a guy. How could he go buy girls' things? "Amy, why don't you call your assistant?" "My assistant is busy and can't come," Amy said disappointedly. She was lying to Justin. In fact, her assistant was at a hotel nearby, but she didn't want to call her. She wanted to use this opportunity to test Justin and see if he cared about her. Seeing Amy so troubled, Justin couldn't bear to abandon her. "Okay, I'll go buy it for you. Will you wait for me here?" "Really? Thank you so much." Amy was as happy as a child, hugging Justin tightly. Justin's face turned red as he was embraced by her so innocently. He quickly broke free and ran into the supermarket. Justin had never bought sanitary pads before, so he was very flustered. He stood in front of the rack, not knowing which one to choose. Damn it! Why did I promise to buy this? Justin regretted secretly. He peeked around secretly, seeing that no one was paying attention to him. He closed his eyes and blindly grabbed a pack of sanitary pads, then quickly ran to the checkout counter. Leaving the supermarket, Justin's face was red, his heart was pounding, and his legs were shaking. He felt like he had just done something very bizarre. He ran to where Amy was waiting, quickly hiding the pack of sanitary pads behind his back, and stammered, "Hey Amy, here's your stuff." Seeing Justin's red face and flustered appearance, Amy secretly smiled with amusement. This silly hubby was so cute. She took the pack of sanitary pads and said, "Thank you so much." It's nothing," Justin quickly said. Amy smiled and said, "Wait for me a bit. I'm going to go to the bathroom to change." After saying that, Amy quickly ran to the supermarket's bathroom. Justin stood outside and breathed a sigh of relief. He had finally completed the task. A few minutes later, Amy came out, her face radiant with a smile. She took Justin's hand and said, "Let's go home." "Yeah," Justin nodded. The two of them walked hand in hand on the small road in the apartment complex. At this moment, a warm and peaceful feeling suddenly arose in Justin's heart. He felt that Amy was no longer as scary as before but had become closer and more familiar. Could it be that he had already begun to fall for her?